It is 1 year to the day since we learnt of the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The cars in front of me on the grid are all estate vehicles that belong to Her Majesty, provided by our partners at Jaguar Land Rover. As we see them drive around the circuit, please join me in remembering a truly extraordinary life, the like of which we will never see again.
The first Land Rover was created in 1948 to fulfill a functional need. It was made by repurposing Jeep parts that happened to be available. Since then, Land Rover's transformation from a quaint, rugged vehicle made to carry out sundry duties on farmland to a luxury wagon preferred by heads of state, it's been a slow yet dramatic evolution. To the company's credit, the vehicle's DNA has stayed largely intact. Another thing that hasn't changed is their visual appeal, which is, well, subjective. Now, there are a myriad of reasons people buy a Land Rover, but pure form isn't usually one of them. The modern Rovers are still very capable. At WION Drive, we've driven Land Rovers extensively. We've taken the Discovery Sport and the Defender all around Ladakh, and the previous iteration of the Velar to the Kumaon Hills, and they've always performed admirably. In the stable of tough, somewhat handsome steeds, a mare entered in 2017. No less capable, but its lines were different. With the Velar, Range Rover and pretty were used in the same sentence, perhaps for the first time. Velar is derived from the Latin word velare, meaning to veil or cover. The origin of the Range Rover Velar dates back to the first Range Rover prototypes of the 1960s. When development engineers needed to hide the true identity of the 26 pre-production Range Rovers, they chose the name Velar. When the world first saw it properly, in 2017, Land Rover didn't take it to a motor show. They took it to the Milan Design Week. Now we're all for the feminine, and the latest iteration of this gorgeous machine is not just prettier, it's classier. It's the old Velar in an evening gown dressed for a fashionable soiree. And it's as beautiful on the inside as it is to look at on the outside. The minimalism of the interior is more self-assured than any of its chunkier male counterparts. The Velar doesn't pirouette in front of you saying, "Hey, look, I'm beautiful." It just lies there like a beautiful woman on a gorgeous sunny day. In so many ways, the Velar is a rebuttal to over-design, an exercise in reductionism. No extra lines, no extra surfaces or shapes or gizmos. Pop flush door handles, a long wheelbase, surfaces that look sculpted, not slashed. The 2026 Velar has new headlights and tail lamps, a reshaped grille, reworked bumpers, a new color on the chart called Batumi Gold, and an optional black contrast roof. Now we're driving the top trim, the Autobiography. Extended Windsor leather seats as standard, burnished copper detailing, and wheels look like they were lifted from a jewelry box. But the real story for 2026 is what they've done inside. A new 11.4-inch curved glass touchscreen floated on the dashboard like a sheet of dark water. A redesigned steering wheel that swaps a couple of physical stalks for haptic controls. Buttons you feel rather than click. The PV Pro interface, which earlier Velars wore a bit awkwardly, has been cleaned up. Larger touch targets, a calmer home screen, fewer menus to get lost in. Whether it finally silences the electronic gremlins JLR has long been infamous for, only time will tell. The seats are 20-way adjustable, and the Meridian sound system has 16 speakers that push out delicate etudes to you from every conceivable angle. How does it drive? For lack of a better word, it's serene. Now, the Velar is not interested in being a sports car. Air suspension is standard, which means the ride is hushed and the cabin is a quiet pocket where you can hold a whispered conversation at 120 km per hour and not have to raise your voice. On broken roads, the suspension can feel a tad firm, especially on the larger wheels. The climate controls for the 4-way climate system buried in the touchscreen are not everyone's friend, but if your idea of a good drive is a long one, then the Velar makes a strong, civilized case. Now in India, the Velar arrives in 2 trims, the Dynamic SE and the top-of-the-line Autobiography, with 2 engine options: a 2-litre turbo petrol with 250 horsepower, 8-speed automatic, all-wheel drive. Ex-showroom prices for the Autobiography begin at 85.9 lakh. Now, we did not take the Velar off-road. It would take a hard man to do that to this car. So who is this car for? Now, the Velar isn't trying to convince you of anything. It doesn't bristle at the Macan. It doesn't try to out-tech the Mercedes EQE. And it doesn't pick a fight with the X3. What it offers instead is taste. A quiet, expensive, surprisingly capable kind of taste. The kind that can look elegant while cheerfully scrambling up a riverbed. The dinner jacket or not, Land Rover says the Velar can still get its hands dirty. When it comes to that, we'll take their word for it.